Greetings to all, and welcome to the Jamaica Diaspora Show. My name is Mark Millward of the West Indian Social Club of Hartford, and I'm your host. The Jamaica Diaspora Show is aimed at providing viewers with coverage of diaspora news and activities in a variety of areas, including business, arts, health, education, entertainment, politics, immigration, trade, and investment. Our first show featured an exclusive interview with the Most Honorable Andrew P. Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica, who talked about the Economic Growth Council and harnessing the power of the diaspora. Tune in for more coverage in the future on the activities of the Economic Growth Council and diaspora engagement. Hartford, Connecticut is the third largest population of Jamaicans in the United States, behind Miami and New York. We intend to provide our viewing audience with global diaspora perspectives and coverage from the US, UK, Canada, Jamaica, and of course the Caribbean. Please join us weekly, Saturdays at 2 p.m. and Sundays at 3 p.m. on Hartford Public Access Television, providing global television network coverage at www.hpatv.org. Greetings and welcome to the Jamaica Diaspora Show. Today my guests are Mr. Earl Smith and his wife Maxine Smith, representing the Circle of Hands Foundation. Welcome,
Welcome.
to the Jamaica Diaspora Show.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Tell me, what is the Circle of Hands Foundation?
The Circle of Hands Foundation is an organization that was started back in 2001, and our aim is to enhance the quality of life for children living with HIV. We currently have 70 children living in 3 homes in Jamaica. 2 of the homes are in Spanish Town, Martha's House and Dear to Care, and there's another home in Kingston called Method 2540. And our job here is to raise funds to help to better their lives.
Okay. Now, first I wanted to get out what the Circle of Hands Foundation organization is. Now I want to get into your role and your role within the organization.
I'm the president of the organization.
Okay. And as president, your duties are?
My duty is basically to oversee the entire operations. We have an executive director. Her name is Cindy Sims, that started the organization, and she's executive director. And as the president, I oversee the entire operation both here and in Jamaica. And we actually keep in contact with the kids, so we're not just sending money. We are in contact with them by Skyping, telephone calls, and and by being in Jamaica 3 to 4 times per year.
Okay. And you, in your capacity, what is your role?
So I'm secretary.
Okay.
And I'm Maxine of all trades.
Oh, okay.
So so my role is communications. My role is project management. So our upcoming events, I'm project managing those events. I am the one that initiates our meetings. I schedule our meetings, our monthly meetings. Right now we're having weekly meetings. It's an upcoming event we'll be talking about shortly. I am the one that also do the follow-ups and make sure that the president needs to be where he needs to be, and that he needs to have the means he needs to have. Same for the treasurer. I am usually the first one people contact if they have a question, you know. So I consider myself just of all trades. I do, quite a bit in terms of a lot of the in and out of the organization.
Okay. And just where you are from Jamaica?
I'm from Jamaica originally.
Where in Jamaica?
Kingston, Jamaica.
Kingston?
I attended Holy Child High School.
Okay.
And then I migrated to Canada and then moved here many years ago to Connecticut.
Right. And So, Mr. Smith, you are also from Jamaica.
I'm also from Jamaica. Grew up in Jamaica. Went to Kingston College.
Oh, you're a KC man. That's
KC
right.
man,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah, went to Kingston
I didn't
College.
recall that.
Fortis man, and then I migrated.
Fortis. Yes, man.
Fortis Academy, still with no protest. The brave may fall, but never yield.
Purple.
Purple and white. And migrated to the United States and attended Weaver High School.
Oh, okay.
Graduated from Weaver High School in 1980.
Okay.
The class of 1980. Been in Hartford ever since.
Okay. Now, I wanted to get out, first of all, what the Circle of Hands Foundation is. So it's a wonderful organization. Since its inception, you said was in
2001.
2001.
I'll give you a history of the organization.
Okay,
Our executive director, Cindy
Sims.
She went to Jamaica and she met this little girl. And it's a very wonderful story. Wanted to adopt a little girl, and when she went back, the girl was transferred to another home, and then she found out that she had HIV. And at that time, you were able to adopt a child with HIV. But when she went to the home, there were so many children there that had this virus, and she became very emotionally and physically attached to these children. And she came back here, started telling the story, and getting her co-workers, as she worked for the state, and she started it's called a sponsored mom program. So she was trying to get people here to sponsor these children in Jamaica to help provide clothing, food, medication, and all sorts of the things to them. And so she started, and the sponsored mom program evolved into the Circle of Hands Foundation, which is a 501c organization in the state of Connecticut.
So that was the start of it. Now, did you make reference to a sponsor?
It was called the Sponsored Mom Program, and because she was trying to get people to sponsor these children. One of the programs that we have that's very unique to us is that we don't just send money to Jamaica. We are involved in the day-to-day lives of the children. So we're physically involved in working with the caregivers in the home, working with the matrons and everyone. So we talk to these kids on a regular basis. I mean, between even the older kids who are no longer in the home, we're in constant contact with them. So we Skype them. We have telephone call. One of the things that we do, we give over $35,000 US a year to these children. I mean, every month we give $1,200 that we use, that the money that's used to assist in the purchase of food, just for food. But we take care, we make sure we celebrate every child's birthday.
Oh, that's great.
We're involved in, every year we have a thing called...
How many children do you have right
we
now?
have 70 children right now.
70?
70.
70?
In three homes. And one of the homes is all female, one is all male, all boys, and one is
they separated?
The smaller homes is all boys and girls.
But I mean, like the homes on the same grounds, are they in different locations?
Two of them are in Spanish Town. There's an organization in Jamaica called Mustard Seed. So they're involved in the Mustard Seed community. Mustard Seed is it's actually the largest nonprofit social service organization in Jamaica. So the children are on Mustard Seed community. They're all wards of the state of Jamaica, and Mustard Seed actually provides the living arrangements.
What you said they're wards of the state. What state entity covers their...
They come under... Go ahead, Maxine.
They come under CDA. So if you think...
CDA stands for...
Child Development Agency.
So if you think of DCF...
To our DCF.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
So
all right.
they're a ward to the state. So I must say, too, our sponsored mom program is evolved. It's now a sponsored parent program. So
right, I was going to get to
so
that.
we have moms and dads now.
Okay.
So it's evolved to that. And the physical location of the homes, they are two are in Spanish Town. So the two that are in Spanish Town are in the same property, huge property. So the girls' home for the older girls are in one area, right? And then the home for the smaller children that are mixed, boys and girls. So you have from 4 months old babies, because we have two babies that we just gotten home a few weeks ago.
That young, okay.
We have from 4 months to, I think, about 12 years old in the other home, which is called Martha's House, on the same property as the girls' home in Spanish Town. And then in Kingston, like Errol said, there is the boys' home for the older boys. So that the girls and boys are separated as they get older.
So what's the breakdown? How many boys, how many girls?
Okay, currently Matthew 2540, which is the boys' home, has 18 boys. And Dear to Care right now has 17 girls. I mean, these are older girls. girls. And
Older, or what age range?
they range from 11 up to about, the oldest one is 20. Is 20. All right, and then the other 35 children are in Martha's house. You know, so it's 18 boys in Meth 2540, 17 girls at Dear to Care, and then the other 35 children, the younger children, are at Martha's house.
Now, I know later I'm going to ask if you have some, you know, information you want to put up a number for people to call in, or you know, your website or something like that we can put up. But how does a person get involved in Circle of Hands Foundation if they wanted to get involved?
Well, first they can call me. That's one of my role as one of my responsibility as secretary. My number is on a lot of our public announcements
We'll put that
or
up.
things that go out.
We'll put
So
that
my
up on
number
your
is
website.
Sure.
Okay.
So they can call my number, and it's 860-729-8440.
Okay.
So that's 860-729-8440.
Okay, we'll put
They
that
can
on
start by
there.
calling me.
All right.
They can also, you know, a lot of folks are more tech savvy. They can also check our website as well. So they can get on the website, which is circleofhandsct.org.
Okay.
Okay, and my number is on that website as well.
Okay, and we'll certainly put that on there for you. We're going to have a break right now, and when we come back from the break, I wanted to talk about whether or not the Circle of Hands Foundation is beyond the Connecticut domain, or if you've branched to a nationwide effort.
Okay.
We'll be right back with the Jamaica Diaspora Show.
Mustard Seed began in a squatting community opposite the University Hospital in 1978. Right there at that time in that area, there was no home for children with disabilities. So there were children living in little police stations and so on with disabilities. So we used part of the schoolhouse for keeping and having children live there.
We are a charitable organization that is focused on the care of children who have been abandoned, and we're talking about the population of children who are disabled or, you know, physically and mentally challenged. These are the kids who we take care of, as well as children who are HIV positive, children in need, pregnant teenage girls who are in crisis, who have been abandoned, who have nowhere to go. These are our population, our constituents. We take them in and we provide for them.
In many countries that we serve, Jamaica and Africa and so on, let's take the aged children first. Many of our children, their parents, who we have, or probably all of them, their parents have died from AIDS. In fact, it's not parents, many times a single mother. When this mother has AIDS, let's say, she dies, the community has a taboo against AIDS. We have found a child, you may have seen in Jerusalem, found in a pigsty in Montego Bay. Another child found tied to a tree. Because of this social systems that we have that break down health-wise, these are not captured in the first instance. So they're left there until some social worker by chance comes up or a community member call.
Every child that comes into the world is a gift to us, and we have to take care of them. We have to empower them. We cannot abandon them a second time around. Once abandoned, they cannot come into our system and be abandoned a second time.
No child, none whatsoever, who is brought to that gate by anybody must be refused. And the other part of that is no child must be abandoned twice.
So we do as much as we can to ensure that they are as comfortable as is possible and that we can provide for them as best as we can.
Almost 10% of our population is afflicted by a disability. So that is more than 250,000 people. And sometime when they grow up, if they turn 18, they just go on the street for life. So that is why we're building the community called Jacob's Ladder for 100 homes for people who have to leave these homes at 18 so they could find a place to go. Child must believe and try to believe in himself or herself that they can make it in whatever capacity they can. They can live. They won't be abandoned. They must believe in us. The second thing is us. How do we grow our faith? Well, we have to exercise our faith like a mustard seed. So we must believe in the smallest little action that's going to love these children, that action can explode into a lifetime of love.
The difference with mustard seed is that we don't just try to provide, room and board for them, but we also focus on the spiritual needs of the individuals.
These areas are not to be seen as places or places of depression. They must be places of hope. The theme is, He is here. And He is here. Faith is the most exciting component of what we are doing. Whatever it takes, we have to try and do our best.
And we're back. Mr. Smith is the president of Circle of Hands Foundation, and his lovely wife is his secretary and also his catalyst for getting things done. Before the break, we talked about Circle of Hands Foundation. It's evolved from 2001 now. Is it beyond the borders of Connecticut? Have you expanded to other areas?
Well, our primary focus are the children who are residing in the homes in Jamaica.
Right.
So we're basically an organization that's focused on assisting these children.
Right.
We have partnered with a lot of different organizations in Connecticut, primarily in Hartford, the Lions Club, Gardeners House. Just a bunch of the West Indian Club. We actually started with the West Indian Club Foundation. The Community Health Services was a big part of our organization in the early stage. So we've partnered with a lot of local organizations here.
But you say you started here in Connecticut.
Right.
Are you beyond Connecticut? I mean, you in other parts of the country?
Well, our board members are all over. I mean,
Okay.
we have a board of directors. There's about 10 board of directors, and we have board of directors that's in New Jersey. There's a group.
Okay.
There's a group of individuals in New Jersey who have been very, very helpful to us, and they're in New Jersey. So we have board members in New Jersey. We have board members in
Florida.
In Florida. So when we have a meeting, it's a virtual meetings.
Okay.
But again, our focus is with those children that's within those 3 orphanages in Jamaica.
Okay. Now, I wanted to ask about your fundraising efforts. How are you going about doing that? How are you getting the funds to do this service?
We have 2 annual fundraisers. We have one in October. That's our fall fundraiser. And it's typically a meet and greet. It's usually held at the West Indian Social Club. And so we have folks come in, and it's a 2-hour time frame for this event. And we have food, always a good thing to start with. And we also have a presenter for the evening, usually an educational piece to talk about HIV, AIDS, because that's what we really are about. We're supporting children with HIV/AIDS. So we have someone who does that piece, the presentation, and just educating folks about HIV/AIDS. And we also have little entertainment as well. And that's how, and we do ask for a donation, and folks will give us a donation anywhere from $20 and up. That's our fall fundraiser. And we have our annual benefit dinner, which is coming up on March 25th.
March
And that's
March the
25, March 25th.
Now that's an important one that we want to get out there and
Absolutely.
get people to support it.
And that's our semi-formal gala, basically. And so we average up to, for the last couple of years, almost 200 people attending that gala.
And where's that
And
held?
It's at the Hartford Sheraton in Rocky Hill, the Sheraton Hotel in Rocky Hill.
Okay.
And so that's a major fundraiser for us. Tickets are $65 for the evening, and it includes appetizers and dinner, as well as entertainment, raffle. We also have gate or door prizes as well, and a very fun evening, dancing and entertainment for the evening.
So that's because that's very, the fundraising effort, is it 2 that you have
Right.
We have 2.
each year?
The majority of our money, Mark, actually comes from individuals that are out there. We have people from all over the country that gives us money. When you think that we'll
Do you have a membership base?
They're not. We have a board member, but we have a lot of sponsor
patrons?
sponsor parents or people who have been to the homes. A lot of times we tell people that if you're in Jamaica, let us know, and we'll arrange for you to go to the homes. Because once you get there and you see those children, it's something that they just pull at you.
Right.
And so I just think I think we're very blessed as an organization to get the amount of money that we get every year to keep operating. It's just blessings because we have a lot of people that send us money on a regular basis. And so we're able to provide $1,200 a month in food. I mean, they have our checkbook in Jamaica, and every month they write a check. And that money that we in Jamaica provides approximately, I would say, a third of their food. By no means the money that we give support all these children, but we are just one of the organizations that assist these children.
So we have members of the organization. So we have our board members, board of directors,
Right.
but then we have members of the organization that are sponsored parents. And so we have sponsored parents that commit to a certain amount of money each month. So some sponsored parents commit from anywhere from $20 a month to almost $400 a month. Okay, we have a couple who's a board member as well, and they have given every month about $350 every month goes automatically. A check comes in automatically in our PO box. And then we do have just love gifts sometimes. We'll just go to the PO box and someone, have it in their heart and they send us a check. The other day we were invited to an event in Wilton, Connecticut, and it was a concert pianist that played, and they committed to giving us $200 via PayPal going forward. So we've gotten $1,000 donation. So it really varies. We have another board member commits to $100 a month. So it really varies, whatever is on their heart. But there are some folks who have committed specifically to a certain amount of money a month. And then it's not just about the money too for us. There are some folks who probably having financial hardship. They're not able to continue to give like they used to, but they want to remain to be sponsored. They still call the kids, they Skype with the kids, and that's the important piece for us, that the kids were already abandoned and rejected at one point in their life. That's why they're in the orphanage. So we ask for folks, if you're going to commit to being a sponsored parent, you need to continue with that, money or no money. The emotional piece is more important at times.
Okay. So you're providing this very valuable service. What about the medical treatment that the kids need?
Right. That's a very good question. HIV, no matter where you are, basically in this world, I mean, the World Health Organization, the Bill Gates Foundation, the Bill Clinton Foundation has committed to help children with HIV all over the world. So years ago when we started, and Cindy will tell you if she was here, when we started years ago, she actually went to these different drug companies at the time to physically get drugs.
Ask for donations.
Drugs to get to Jamaica, and she got that.
She was able to
She was able to get Dr. Marcia Sadler, who was her first, because for you to transport drugs to another country, you got to be a medical doctor. So the first president, before I became president, was Dr. Marcia Sadler. And how Cindy got her involved, because she had to transport some medication to Jamaica. As a medical doctor, she could.
Right.
And she went to the home, and she just fell in love with those kids. And she came back, and wanted to be involved, and she was the first president. But now the drugs are very, very cheap. So the drugs that the children get, any children in Jamaica, there's a program in Jamaica that provides the medication free of cost. So all the kids in their home goes to the doctor twice a year to get their blood tests, to let them know what their CD4 count is and their viral load is, and the medication is free. So the Circle of Hands doesn't provide a medication. That's done, and all the medical and the antiretroviral therapy is all done by medical doctors in Jamaica.
That's wow.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
The only piece that we do to help with that is vitamins. We supply a big portion of their vitamins on a yearly basis. If you think about it, because they need to, be healthy and eat well, so they need to supplement what they're eating with vitamins. So if you think of 70 children, some are young adults, have to take a vitamin every single day. It's over 3,000 vitamins, I believe, when we did calculate it last. So we actually do get donations of for money for vitamins, or folks will send vitamins or drop vitamins off at my house. And so that's a big piece that we do, because they really go through a lot of vitamins. So we definitely help with the vitamins piece, but not the medication.
So you're in partnership with the CDA. Is that true? Would you say that?
The children comes under the auspices of the CDA.
Okay.
So Mustard Seed is the organization in Jamaica. These children reside on their campus. And so CDA is just like the DCF here.
Okay.
Once you're under
umbrella?
Their umbrella, they oversee the welfare of the children. One of the most exciting things this year is that for the first time we have 2 of the children who actually lives in the home in Jamaica will be coming to our program this year.
That's what I was going to ask.
And that's awesome. We are so excited about it.
Is this the first time
this is the first time? We've tried the years
Okay.
before, but it never got to the point where we got to the embassy.
Are they going to be able to speak and talk? Or?
They will be here. We'll decide on that piece right away, because of what happens like that. Again, these are children with HIV. We just want to make sure that they're not on social media, because we don't want because people with HIV is still stigmatized, not only in Jamaica, we use it around. But they'll be on the program though, so people can actually meet them. Another thing is that 2 of our current board members have adopted a child from Jamaica. So we have 2 of the children actually live in the home, is actually living in the USA right now, because 2 of our board members has taken on the responsibility of sponsoring 2 of these children. And it's going to be awesome having 2 of the children who lives in the home. They'll be coming up with 2 of the caregivers to be at the program. So that's going to be real awesome.
Now, the 2 that are coming up, are they coming up for the event on March 25th?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
They'll be here for about 10 days, but they're coming up for the event on March 25th,
Right.
yes.
So do you want to talk more about that event?
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Go ahead, Maxine.
Yeah, sure. So it's our 7th annual benefit dinner, and it's going to be on Saturday, March 25th at the Sheraton Hotel in Rocky Hill. So the evening starts at 7 o'clock until 1 o'clock. We have the space for semi-formal attire, very nice dinner, buffet dinner including salmon, and if you're gluten-free, there's a meal, there's options for you, vegetarian dish as well, and we have a formal program where we will have entertainment. We'll also have honorees. We do honor folks that have provided community service in the community. So we have some honorees this year. We have a keynote speaker as well.
Do you have a person identified?
We are working on that, so I can't commit yet to that. So we do, and we have a keynote speaker, and then we also reserve a good chunk of the night for dancing, because people do want to get out and have fun. So
what time did you say again?
7 o'clock, and dinner officially 7, and it ends at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Dinner starts at 8 o'clock, so 7 to 8 is meet and greet, mingle, appetizers, hors d'oeuvres, and then we start officially at 8
And
with the program.
it's a fun program, because our goal is just to entertain, and there. So the program normally runs very fast in terms like that. So we don't hold people hostage. So normally dinner starts at 8, and by 10 o'clock the program is over. So people get a chance to dance and relax, and we have a raffle prize and stuff like that.
Now, you've been the president for how long?
I've been the president for about 8 years. About 8 years now.
8 years now.
8 years now.
So besides yourself and your wife as secretary, what are the other members? How many other members do you have running?
We have a board for about 10 members. All our members are volunteer. None of us get paid, and every single penny that we collect goes towards the children. So I mean, a lot of times people are involved with these programs where they send money overseas, and people may but we know the children directly. We know all the children. We talk to them. We Skype them so we can see them. We talk to them on a regular basis. Even the children who are outside the home, we still keep in contact with them. So we're very intimately involved in all aspects of the operation. But we have about 10 members on a board of directors.
Okay.
Yep.
So some of the members that are on the board, the roles or the titles, we have the vice president, and she's also assistant treasurer, right? Then we have our treasurer, and he's been since the inception of the program. We also have our community relations person, and we have a communications person as well. And we have someone on our board who's like a friend of the board, and she's kind of a backup to me, you know, at times to do a lot of the legwork, you know, whatever we need, she's there. So we have about 8 to 10 members on our board. So we are a small board, but it's amazing what we get done for a small board that meets monthly via teleconference.
Oh, okay, great. Now, you have 70 children that you're serving now. How many have you served over the years?
We've served about 300 kids who have come in.
300?
I think it's about that goes in now. We have a lot of children right now who are no longer in the home, you know, or on the outside because they actually has grown out of the home. And a lot of times...
Is there a limit, or there's an age where you have to say...
Well, that's up to Mustard Seed. What happens a lot of times is that the family at some point, a lot of these children are orphaned, but they're family members who may come at some point and they may get reunited with their family. And that's what we hope for the children to eventually, to identify family. That's what CDA work towards, identify family members on the outside and having the children reunite with them. So that's the goal, is to get these children out of the orphanage, get them living with their families, but also at the same time getting the same treatment in terms of the antiretroviral drugs and, you know, the medical visits and taking their vitamins. So that's ultimately the goal. You know, but usually when the kids are 18, 19, they tend to transition out of the home.
And
how is that done? How is that done?
One of the unique things too about what we do, but also about the home. I really feel the home is an orphanage, but it's a sense of family, right? And I find they're very protective of the kids, which is really nice. They just don't set a time and say when you're 18, that's it, you're on your own.
Right.
You're
but I was just...
you're an adult. So
Exactly.
they try to transition them and prepare them for the world of work, pretty much. You know, they try to prepare them for an adult out there. So they try to equip them with trade and, you know, and a job and try to see if they can, whoever is able to go on to college, they try that. Which has its challenges, you know, because there are some limitations in terms of cognitive skills of some of the kids, or you know, their academic skills, that kind of thing. So that's why we still have kids there that are 20, you know, because it's very hard for them to just put them out when they don't have a family to go to. They're trying to prepare them. So these kids that are older, they're doing job training, you know, work right now.
That's what I wanted to get into.
One of the things, we have 3 young ladies right now who don't have the family, and to them to transition, that was a very hard transition. So last year, what we did as an organization, and we did it along with Mustard Seed also, was to get a housing for these 3 young ladies. And our goal was to just provide everything for them for 18 months. Pay the rent, the utilities, and help them with finding a job. So our goal was for 18 months, we'll take care of all your expenses. All you have to do is to go to school and try to find a job. Because these 3 kids it's much harder because they didn't have a family to transition in. And our goal for the next 18 months is to provide them with everything they need, you know, so they don't have to worry about where the housing is coming from. And you know, and their main goal is to get a job, so they can, you know, they can sustain. And after 18 months, if they haven't, as long as they're making progress, we'll still be there for them. You know, but that's the goal. But most of the kids eventually will transition to a family member. They just Mustard Seed just don't.
Mustard, you know, like Mustard Seed. Does Mustard Seed as an organization fall under the CDA?
No, Mustard Seed is like a United Way or a Red Cross. They're the biggest social service organization in Jamaica. And they do a lot of stuff. The AIDS portion is just one piece of what they do. They have homes for teenage mothers. They have homes for children with physical and mental disability. They are just a very wonderful worldwide organization that extends beyond the borders of Jamaica.
I'm familiar with Father Holong.
Right. Father Holong is with another organization in Jamaica, Food for the Poor.
Right.
Mustard Seed was started by Father Gregory, and
Father Gregory
is not as maybe not as popular as
Father Holong.
Everyone knows Father Holong, you know, but Father Gregory is more the kid, more behind the scenes, you know, and he's the founder of Mustard Seeds. And I mean, you could just go on the internet and just Google Mustard Seeds, and they're just a phenomenal organization.
And
that does a lot
also-
of stuff, worldwide.
And also on our website too, there's a video of Father Gregory, right, who started, Mustard Seeds, right? And there's a video about the many homes that Mustard Seed is responsible for that they have, right? And it just so happens that 3 of the homes are for kids with HIV, and those are the homes that we support.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that Circle of Hands Foundation is a wonderful, wonderful foundation. The services that you're providing are certainly needed. Have we established the fact that Jamaica has an epidemic as far as HIV/AIDS go? As far,
I mean, I wouldn't
in
say-
comparison to some of the other
Right.
countries or islands in the region.
Right. I wouldn't say it's as an epidemic, because it's not. I mean, back in 2009, the Caribbean as a whole, there's about 1.5% of the population had HIV, which was significant. I mean, next to sub-Saharan Africa, it was the highest HIV rate. But over the last couple of years, that rate has gone down. It's about 0.06% now, which has gone down, and not just in Jamaica. It's just worldwide. Because people are more educated.
They're educated.
They're more educated about that. So it's not an epidemic. People are more aware of it. They practice safe sex, which is one, and which one of the common cause, of people, being infected with the virus. But I think Jamaica is, it's really, the education is there. And because of that, and also the treatment is there. So once someone is diagnosed, the only way you can know if you have HIV is to get tested. And once you get tested, and if you have the virus, I mean, it's not. Years ago, it was something that would kill you. That's no longer the case.
Okay.
I mean, people can live normal life with HIV as long as they take the antiretroviral drugs and take their vitamins, and do regular screening to make sure that their blood levels or the CD4 count is within the normal range. They can live a long, healthy, and productive life.
And just to show you an example of how far we've come with HIV in Jamaica as it pertains to our kids in our homes, it's my understanding that when the home started for HIV, they were kind of like a hospice. Kids were dying, and this was just in the late 90s. And ever since we've been affiliated with the home, as far as we know, we've not had any children die in the home, and they were before. Again, because of the medication and the education, it's no longer, happening.
Are you at your capacity, or do you have a maximum that can you serve beyond this? Are you trying to?
That's up to Mustard Seed. Okay. Mustard Seed determines how many children comes in and out of the home. So Circle Hands just assist the children that are there. We don't have a say as to who comes in, who goes out. Once a child comes in HIV, our job is to help them and to love them and to protect them and provide with nourishment. And I think we have done a tremendous job in terms of being there for one, because a lot of times the homeless may need something, and they have a lot. I mean, Circle Hands by no means is the only organization that supports these children. We're just one of many. Okay. What makes us unique again is our sponsor parent program, where we actually have someone, if they have the heart to take care of these kids, they don't have to have any money. And we're very careful who becomes a sponsor parent. It's just someone, because it becomes essentially a lifetime commitment. Because you just can't say, I'm going to do it, and then 2 months from now you stop. Right. Because these children have already
been attached to you.
Exactly. So so a lot of times people come to our program and see the videos and see the killing, and it's an emotional reaction, and they really want to help. Right. But before they become a sponsor parent, our executive director Cindy really vet them out and let them know exactly what it takes. So we don't want our kids to be disappointed twice. I mean, so we're very consistent in how we monitor who becomes a sponsor parent.
That's right. Okay. Well, I'm very pleased that you came on to the show to talk to us about Circle of Hands. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate
it. I wish you all the best on your upcoming event, March 25th. I will try to be there. In fact, I will make every effort that I can to be there.
And if you can't be there, buy a ticket. We'll give a ticket to somebody
That's
else.
right.
I mean,
That's right.
again,
I could do that too.
Again, our website is circleofhandsct.org, circleofhandsct.org. If you want to get in touch with us, the number is 860-729-8440. And Maxine, I can check our website out, and you know,
we'll have all that information on the screen for you. Yeah,
I appreciate
certainly.
it.
Yeah. Well, thank you very, very much. I really do appreciate you being here, and I certainly appreciate this information. The service that you're providing is wonderful. It's fantastic. You know, I wish there were more of it. And it just seemed to me that when I started to look at Circle of Hands Foundation, I actually thought it was nationwide.
Right.
I mean, as far as, you know, the different entities that we're facilitating. But
Right.
great work.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you for being here.
Okay, we appreciate it. All right.
Okay.
Thanks,
Okay.
thanks, Lamar.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. And that's it for the Jamaica Diaspora Show. We'll be back next week with more coverage in the diaspora. Thank you for joining us.